What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be talking about some of the adjustments for Breaking Wheel, and we're going to talk about if he is still viable in ranks and tournaments and all that stuff. But before we talk about that, I would just like to say that I am not the best Breaking Wheel, and I might not even be good at him. And this is one of two gameplays that I actually got victories with out of like 10,000 other defeats. So for all you Breaking Wheel games out there, if I suck, I suck. I don't care. Alright, so now let's get into a little bit of a discussion about the nerfs. And if you guys didn't already know, Breaking Wheel actually got a nerf already before this new nerf that just came in the previous maintenance. So the previous nerf was actually pretty decent, I would say, because when he first came out, he was actually really broken. Like, you wouldn't be able to counter him, and he is one of the strongest hunters before his first nerf. So after his first nerf, he basically became a pretty balanced hunter where it is easy to get 4-man kills, but if the survivors have really good teamwork, you can also lose. Yeah, it's basically like a Dream Witch right now after the nerf, but still not as broken as Sculptor. So that is basically Breaking Wheel in a nutshell. But then the developers decided to nerf him again. So the first nerf that came to Breaking Wheel is that the recharge time of the Silence Wheel has been increased from 15 to 18 seconds. So the Wheel of Silence is when he's in wheel form, he gets to activate his skill where he speeds really quickly from his normal state of speed. So that thing has been, the cooldown for that thing has been increased by 3 seconds, and honestly it is not too bad because, like, see right here, this is the Wheel of Silence, and you have 2 of them, and when you reach max presence you'll get 3 of them. So 18 seconds, it's actually not too bad. But will it give some effect? Yes. And the next thing is one of the biggest nerfs that could come to Breaking Wheel, which is the fact that whenever he eliminates survivors, the time for them to remove the spikes will decrease as more survivors are eliminated. So for example, when you eliminate one survivor, then the time for the other survivors who have been spiked to remove their spikes by themselves will be decreased. So at the beginning, it takes them, let's say if they need to remove one spike, they need 17 seconds to remove a spike. And after another person has been eliminated, then their time will be reduced to 13 seconds. And then as it goes on to 2 eliminated survivors, then it will be 8 seconds. And then finally, if there is like 1 person remaining, it will be 5 seconds. And this time will differ from how many spikes you have and how many survivors are still on the field after elimination. And escaping from the manor does not count as elimination, and the time will still be the same, which is 17 seconds for 1 spike. And honestly, I think that this nerf is really tough on Breaking Wheel because you're basically trying to remove his main ability, which is spiking. And survivors can counter that even better now. And the fact that Breaking Wheels don't usually run detention, their endgame is now a lot worse because let's say if you have 2 people left on the field and the cipher machine has been popped and you have no detention and all you have is the spikes to work with. But then if there are 2 people left on the field, then the time for them to remove, let's say 2 spikes, would be 12 seconds, which was initially 25 seconds to remove 2 spikes, which is half the time. So in my opinion, this is very tough on Breaking Wheel, especially when he prioritizes on the spikes to get kills, especially during endgame. So was this nerf necessary? Not really, given the fact that you cannot spike twice in a row within 10 seconds after the first spike. But this just makes Breaking Wheel a lot less scary right now because survivors still have a chance to go for the tie even though they are in a bad situation. So, and after that we have a little bit of the little more nerfs which is when he transforms from wheel to human form, the time is increased by 10 seconds. So this is very good for survivors because whenever Breaking Wheel is at max presence, he will have a time where he is able to spike you just by getting out of wheel form. And now that it is nerfed, like the time from switching from wheel form to human form has been increased, survivors can actually stun the hunter while they are in the animation so that their spikes will not be able to get onto the survivors. So this is very beneficial for the survivors and pretty bad for Breaking Wheel because he really needs to prioritize on the max presence to get his spikes on as quickly as possible. And another thing is that the tier 2 entity skills jokingly throw spikes take effect for a 0.4 second extension. So I'm not really sure what that means, but it is still a nerf. So overall, what do I think of this nerf? I think it was pretty unnecessary because when he first came out, he was like the top tier hunter, like top of the food chain and all that stuff. And after his first nerf, he was a balanced S tier hunter. So he's now like a Dream Witch where you can have a really good game, but then with well coordination you can still lose. But now after this nerf, I think that survivors can prioritize more on late game, and Breaking Wheel mains just have to get used to the nerfs because some of the nerfs, such as the wheel to human form and the charging time for the Wheel of Silence, that one is the minor nerf. The only major nerf is the spike removing thingy. So I think with just with more practice and getting used to the nerf, Breaking Wheel can still be a very scary hunter in the right hands, but will he be as scary as before he was nerfed? Not really, in my opinion, but he is still pretty rank viable if you are good with controlling the wheel and with all the game sense. And I do still think that Breaking Wheel's mains can get a lot of wins in rank. And so that is just my opinions on the nerfs that came to Breaking Wheel. And I did mention at the beginning of the video, this is like one of 2 wins I got from trying out Breaking Wheel. So I will post that gameplay tomorrow, and right now I'm just gonna finish off by destroying the Enchantress, getting out of wheel form, getting stunned, and they surrendered. So that is it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.